Welcome to another episode of Cigar Talk. On today's episode of Cigar Talk, I'm going to paint a picture of me and Bailey. And so, in setting up the camera, things that I want to make sure are in capture in the view, I wanted to make sure that you're able to see the running water from the creek. Of course, I want you to see me, watch me, as I paint the picture of me and Bailey. And as far as material goes, you see the paints that I have. I'm going to be working with these 4 colors for acrylics. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 colors for gouache. So it'll be a mixed media painting. The challenge is that the picture is on the phone, and I'm using the phone to record. And I'm basically going to try to paint the picture without looking at the physical picture, sort of from memory. Now, it's not that challenging because I already have an outline down. So if you can kind of see, I already got the outline there. I'm just going to attempt to paint the picture as best I can with those colors. I looked at the picture, I chose the colors, and so I'm going to try to paint the picture from those colors and add depth by just playing with the shading, making certain parts darker, deeper, or lighter. So I also have a white if I didn't already show that. And so, yeah, we're just gonna I'm gonna try to paint the picture without looking directly at the reference. And so I do have an outline down. The challenge part would just come from just painting it, not looking at the physical picture as far as the colors, so you know exactly where to make it deeper, darker, lighter, and things like that. So that's why it's not going to be that challenging, because when I was kind of sort of studying abstract, like a way to make the picture abstract, right? I can just choose whatever colors I want and put them in those spots. Like everywhere I see a red, I can replace it with blue. Everywhere I see a yellow, I can replace it with green. That's the way of making a picture abstract. The outline is there, so it's still going to look like me and Bailey. It's still going to look like a person and a dog. But I'm going to try to do my best with those colors as is. And when I need to, Bailey's just running around. When I need to fill in for a space that I may not exactly remember where the color should be, I'm just going to use my intuition and seeing how things fold from there. So I want to see how detailed I can possibly make it. Now, as I'm going further on my art journey, that will be the next step. So right here, I have an outline, and it's a matter of me putting the colors where they go. A step from this would be saying, okay, let me just paint the picture straight from memory. And how much... And start with a completely blank canvas and just go ahead and do the sketch and then work with the details and depths from there. So that'll be my next artistic challenge to myself. So I'm still smoking the same cigar from the last episode, which is the La Aroma de Cuba El Jefe. What I appreciate already about this cigar is that from the last segment, it lasted, I probably smoked it for a good 30 minutes already. I didn't necessarily time it. I could go back and look at the video to see how long I smoked it for, but it lasts for a good 30 minutes. I would say at least 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? The last video was about 44 minutes. And I wasn't sure how long I was talking first, but once I got the cigar lit from there until the end of the video, it lasted, and I had a good bit to go ahead and continue smoking. So right there, I at least appreciate the pull from there. You know what I'm saying? It's lasting a bit. It's lasting a bit. Cause I'll say like this. Like my father, it smokes so smooth to the point that you don't even feel like you really... My father is a soft pull. And so the way I be pulling in comparison to smoking different cigars, some require a stronger pull. And I don't know if that my father would have lasted that whole episode. I probably would have got through that. But my father is my favorite cigar brand right now. And so I'm going to continue to paint this picture. I didn't take as many sips of my Rockstar in the last episode, so I still got some of the Rockstar going. Why did I spit that out? I'm wasted. Alright. So, as you see, I got it set up. I got the canvas set up in the middle of this branch. You see the water running in the creek, so I'm in nature. I'm painting. Another one of my goals was I could have been in a more of an open field while I'm recording this, but I really wanted to get, something told me to go deeper into the woods, get deeper. Now I see this, and I started running water, so it's cool to be beside that. Because I read something, and it talked about you just being in the woods and talking and speaking and absorbing the energy within nature. I can't even articulate it for real. But there's a difference, okay? What I'm basically trying to get at, what I'll probably come to learn more about later, is that where you're speaking matters. So for me, I'm speaking in the woods, around nature. So it's like I'm speaking to the trees, I'm speaking to the land, I'm speaking to the water. The sun is out still, so it's like speaking to the elements, and it's like now I'm really enclosed in nature, and I'm still running with my gift here. And so, again, as I'm manifesting, scripting, spelling, stepping into my own magic, I am cigar aficionado. I am the greatest artist that will ever live, that will ever grace this earth. I am billionaire cigar aficionado artist. Now, also, as I'm sitting here trying to tell you, I was telling you about the setup. Why did I pick and choose this scene? And just so you can understand a little bit more of how I go about even just setting up, right now, the view is set aerial. It's an aerial view. Ariel, Little Mermaid. I am Ashay, mermaid, being by the water. And who knows? So the camera, I'm trying not to mess it up too much, is set up on this tree branch. And as you can see, this is why I really wanted a tripod with the bendy legs, because it's wrapped around this tree branch and it's holding it up so that I could capture this view. And that's why I'm appreciative for this tripod. I named it Sortigi. So that's how I got the camera set up, to be able to capture this view. All right, so I don't have to necessarily worry about the rest of this. I can really just sit down and go ahead and paint while I tote the cigar. All right. These are the paint brushes I'm using. I didn't want to think too hard about it, so I grabbed these. I hadn't opened them yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start with this. I'm gonna start with the gouache paints because it's quick. I can, at least with the gouache, I can quickly lay down at least some base colors. I can lay down some base colors. Bailey? She's trying to get into that water. Look, you see her, she was trying to G down into that creek. I don't want to sip in that water. So I'm gonna at least be able to quickly get a base down for where the colors kind of should be, and then go back maybe with the acrylics or see where I can just try to darken some stuff up to make the picture look more realistic. Let's go ahead and just jump straight in. One thing I did forget to bring was a napkin, but I can use my pants. Also, the palette, but I'll probably just put the paints on this tree. All right, let me hop into it. I'm gonna start with this lemon yellow. Jean Citron. I'm not sure if that next word, Jean. I don't know if that is French. Let me see. Yeah, it's French, right? Because rouge, this one is rouge cremosi. Rouge cremosi. And I believe rouge would at least be French. Because I think in Spanish is rojo. I'm gonna start with this for Bailey's base color. Bailey! Bailey! Hey, Ma. Hey, Ma. Hey. I just want to make sure I can see. Bless you. So if you can kind of tell, you can't tell. But I didn't use that much of the gouache. And I already kind of got her baseline down. Now, got her base down already. Now, the shirt that I had on that day was just a darker yellow of her, so I'm gonna go with this ochre jaune, this yellow ochre for the base of mine. And then I'm debating between this. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna use this for my skin color, the burnt sienna, Terre de Sienne Brûlée. I'm probably gonna use that for my skin color, but also varying between these two to add some darker shades to her. And that's what I was saying. I'm already kind of forgetting, like, where did my shirt stop and end at and stuff like that. I'm already kind of forgetting. So I'm just gonna add all this color within here for my shirt. I'm gonna add all this color within here for my shirt. And then I'm gonna start adding the brown for my skin tone, my skin tone. Oh goodness, you got basketball? So y'all can see, he just brought me this basketball. I'm trying to see so y'all can see her bring this ball. Bring it here. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. No, I gotta be careful where I throw it at though. Give me the ball. Time for the ashes to fall in here. Now, the thing I love right now about the gouache is that it's like a mix between watercolor and acrylics. And what I love about it right now is the fact that as I'm going over the picture, I can still see my lines from the sketch. Whereas with acrylics is like deep and vibrant, and it would have completely covered the outline. Bailey, can you let me grab it? Bailey, all right. Bailey back out there? So she didn't see where the ball landed. So this is gonna be help. Like, this is good for her because she's gonna keep moving around. She's gonna look for it. She's gonna find it. She's already on her way. She got it. But that, when she doesn't know where it's at, that kind of helps with, hey, watch the paint, watch the paint. That kind of helps with just expending more of her energy, her trying to find it. You guys can see her. Hey, Bailey, can you back up, please? Let's see how wet we want to get. I'm gonna throw it down there in the creek. But I ain't throwing that wet ball, so I ain't. No, I don't wanna play no more. Here's how the picture's looking so far. Here's how the picture's looking so far. When I looked, what I do remember from the picture, there were like some just a little darker area shaders, and so I know that it's a little too harsh right now, so I'm just gonna try to lighten them up. I could probably just add some white over top of that to lighten it up. I don't want, hey babe, I don't want that. All right. Hold up, man. Bailey. See? Relax. Alright. Let's get it back right. You're okay, bro. You're okay. Now I'm down to that last little nook. So I want to make sure that, because you kind of tell something might spill, so I want to make sure I get to finish my drink. Yeah, to lighten them parts up, I'm gonna use this acrylic real quick, just a tiny little bit of it, just to so I can light that part up. And I'm gonna add, I usually add black last, but I'm just gonna add the black to my pants and go ahead and put the color to the boots, just so I can start to see more life within us, and that becomes more defined. It's starting to get dark and ugly right there, so I am not feeling it too much. So to continue working with this, since that wasn't lightening up too much, I'm just gonna make her overall just a little bit darker. That was the base coat anyway. So I'm just gonna make sure I does darken her up totally all the way around so that that part doesn't look as harsh. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hey, Bailey, hold on. And so I don't know if you can really notice, but like right there, I like gouache because just adding water, you can make that color spread a little more. And you don't have to use, you can make that color spread a little more and you don't have to use more of the paint. And then I didn't do too good of an outline of where my boot started. And so that's my other issue I'm running into. Where does my pants end and the boots begin? I forgot to add green. Cause I feel like that's why I had certain lines down here, cause it was just green from the scenery. We was at the park. Baby! I ain't even put an outline for where my eyes should be at, so that's another thing I'm running into. I'm about to dip into some greens. I have a Viridian, which is Verde Guinea, and a pale green, which is Vert Perle. I'm just gonna add those a little bit to the background around us a little bit, and maybe add that some browns, and then I'm gonna show you a picture of this so you can kind of see, like, in the abstract sense, you see it coming along. You see it coming along. So you kind of see I can just put some green right here, and if I add some water, I can just spread it across the bottom and make that color last a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna switch to this darker green just to add some more that'll be like definition. But I feel like there was more brown in the background, so I'm gonna add some brown to the background. That'll be the trees in a sense. So all I'm doing right now is going back through, adding some water to the background and just brushing up and just filling in the white space and just having the colors mesh into the background. So I'm adding water to spread the color. So I don't have to use more paint. I can just add water to spread the color. Yeah, baby. And what I'm trying to be careful of is making sure I don't add too much water, because then it just drip down to other parts of the paint. That's why I'm also painting up and making sure I catch it, and it just goes right back up into the background. I do just remember a tree being behind us, so that's why I know that part was behind us, but I'm not sure about the background. I'm just really not sure about the background, so that's why I'm putting green and brown into the background. Here is a picture update. Here's a picture update. And you can kind of see how very abstract it is. I'm gonna put the ball up here so she can't get to it, and we'll leave it alone for a little bit. Cause I don't want her to just mess with everything over there. So you can kind of see very abstract in a sense, but everything is coming into place. Hold on, Bailey. You're not playing with the ball right now. And so, before I went to update you, I wanted to just try to fill in as much negative white space as I could. But you can kind of see where she's shaping up to be at. The parts that are still like blank, she had a blue bandana on that day, and she had a gold chain on. So let me just go ahead and fill that in. She had a light blue bandana and a gold chain. And so I'm going to try to just, again, just put the base color down there, and you'll at least see an abstract picture. And then all I got to kind of do is, what I can do, I can go back later and actually look at the picture. I can actually look at the picture and clean it all the way up. So you're seeing the backdrop, like those base colors already there, how I just use this gouache to just set everything up. Things I got lost on, I didn't pay attention to the background. I just knew that it would be shrubbery in the background. I knew there was a tree behind us. I knew there was branches and things behind us. And so I'll go back later and I'll add an overlay to this so you can kind of see where the gold was. So let me just go ahead and add the blue into it. I'm gonna add the blue for her bandana. She also had a gold chain on. I don't really have gold, but I'm just gonna try to add a couple details into here. Well, no. I'm leaving. I'm just gonna leave. After I add the blue into there, I'm gonna go back into the house later, and I will look at the picture. I'm gonna actually just look at the picture and actually just try to add some more details, go back with the acrylics and really just add some details. So here is the abstract version of it that's loading. We're loading up the abstract background. I'm gonna go back with the acrylics and add some more detail after. I actually have a light blue. That's awesome. Oh no, this is titanium white. I saw that and went straight to that. This is titanium white. No. Okay. The only blue that I have in the gouache is this cerulean blue. Blue azure. Bailey, you are okay. You're just not playing with the ball right now. Alright? Not right now. I'm almost done with this too. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just really want to fetch that ball. But we're almost done. We're about to go in the house, if anything. So you better continue running around. No, we are not playing with the ball no more. Hush, babe. We're not playing with the ball no more. Oh my goodness. And for her gold chain, I'll use this acrylic. It is the cadmium yellow hue. Bailey, that ball is up in the tree. Yeah, we done, babe. We are done. We going right up in the house. We going right up in the house. Yeah. Yep, we done. We done. All right. Oh! Okay. All right, here it is now. Here's the abstract background color. So I went back with that cadmium yellow just to outline her a little bit more. I like it just on it. And so you can kind of see how it's coming along now. And again, I'll provide an update with this later. All right, I'll provide an update with this afterwards. Thank you so much for Your time, energy, patience, attention on this episode of Cigar Talk. And I'll leave it like this. Because the only thing I could do is like add the gold around the frame so you can really see the glasses and she has them along. But I will update it again afterwards, and I'll add that to the end of the clip. No, I won't. No. Yeah, I'll add that to another version. So just be on the lookout for the update for this picture. All right. So you saw me primarily. I work with the gouache. I only use the acrylic once or twice. And so if you can kind of see okay, so here was the two greens I had used, that cadmium yellow for the acrylic. But on this side, you see the palette I used for the colors today. And you can tell it's not a lot. If you see my hand laid out here, that I didn't use a lot of the colors, and that spread out over this entire canvas. So thank you so much for your time, energy, patience, and attention. This has been another episode of Cigar Talk, and I'll see you on the next episode.